Hello students, in this lecture video I'll be talking about transport of gases and how the respiration is regulated as well as what are the disorders of respiratory system. So let us first see that how the gases which are oxygen and carbon dioxide, what is the medium of transport? That is blood. 97% of oxygen it is transported by the red blood cells which are present in blood. Rest of the 3% of oxygen is carried in the dissolved state through the plasma. 20 to 25% of carbon dioxide passes through RBCs as it combines with hemoglobin, and 70% is carried as bicarbonate. Leftover 7% is carried in the dissolved state. So let us see that how the transport of oxygen is affected by the different factors. So oxygen binds to hemoglobin molecule in RBC, which is a basically quaternary structure. So 4 oxygen molecules can bind to 1 hemoglobin molecule, and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide, hydrogen ion concentration and temperatures can interfere with this binding. So in this curve you can see, I'll just zoom in, the percentage saturation of hemoglobin with oxygen and the partial pressure of oxygen. So we can see it is one type of sigmoid curve in which when percentage saturation is there, you can see this is called as oxygen dissociation curve. Okay. So what happens in alveoli? When there is high pressure of oxygen, there is low pressure of carbon dioxide, less hydrogen ion concentration and less temperature. These factors are favorable for formation of oxyhemoglobin. In tissues, opposite effect is there. So dissociation of oxygen will happen when there will be, you can say, the percent, it means the saturation level has increased in that way. Similarly, when we talk about transport of carbon dioxide, it is carried by hemoglobin as carbaminohemoglobin. And here partial pressure of oxygen plays a role. So here opposite happens. Basically in tissues the carbon dioxide concentration is more. So we can see in this reaction, that is CO2 plus water in the presence of carbonic anhydrase will give bicarbonate, and again these will form H plus and HCO3 minus ions. So in tissues where the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is high, what will happen? It will shift in this direction, more of bicarbonate will be formed. And when you can say at alveoli site, when carbon dioxide is less, then what is going to form? These bicarbonates will start forming carbon dioxide and maximum CO2 will be released outside. So if we talk about numbers, every 100 ml of deoxygenated blood, it delivers 4 ml of carbon dioxide to alveoli. So let us see how this respiration process is regulated. It is regulated by our nervous system. There is specialized center present in the hindbrain, that is medulla region, where there is respiratory rhythm center. Then along with that, pons has a pneumotaxic center where all the duration and the respiratory rate is controlled. Now, a chemosensitive area is present to this nearby medulla where it is sensitive to carbon dioxide concentration. Now, these all are linked with the aortic arc and carotid artery where the blood is being pumped through heart. You can see that role of oxygen in regulation is very insignificant. It is basically the pressure of carbon dioxide which is regulating. Talking about disorders of respiratory system, asthma means difficulty in breathing due to inflammation of bronchi and bronchioles. Emphysema, it is a chronic disorder where what happens? The walls of alveoli, they get damaged, generally because of cigarette smoking, chronic illness. Lastly, occupational respiratory disorder. This is in those people who are having the occupation of grinding or stone breaking. So the dust which is being released, that will basically long exposure lead to inflammation of the tissues in the lungs. So fibrosis, that is more of fibrous connective tissue will increase, that will finally lead to lung damage.